Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. I'm your host Rashida, and today we're cooking up some jambalaya. I said it, jambalaya. So we're going to take this recipe right here, rewind a little, and show you how it's done. First, we started off by doing a lot of prep work. I started off by chopping up my peppers. I wanted to have some pretty color in this dish, so I chose yellow, red, and orange. I had a little green pepper fresh from my garden, so I decided to throw that in too. Plus, I chopped up about a cup of onions. Come with me in the kitchen while I show you how I diced up the veggies to go into the jambalaya. Now that those are done, we're getting ready to chop up and dice our protein. So we have some chicken breast, chicken tenders, and sausage that I am about to show you how I dice that up in small pieces because it cooks faster in the jambalaya. Here we have the star of the show, good old shrimp. No dicing necessary, just peeling and deveining. We'll add that at the very end of the dish because it doesn't take long to cook. Now take a look at all the ingredients that we are putting into this yummy jambalaya. We have the shrimp, we have garlic, we have peppers, onions, sausage, chicken stock, rice, of course, and some diced petite tomatoes, a little bit of olive oil, and some Cajun seasoning. This is everything you'll need to cook up some jambalaya. Alright, let's get started. At this point, I'm about to pour in 3 to 4 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more, of olive oil. Drizzling olive oil into my preheated pan. We need the olive oil to start to saute the vegetables, the onions and the peppers and the garlic. So we're about to pour that into the pan. It's all going in, giving a nice sizzle sound. Look at those colors. Look at that rainbow of colors. That's what cooking's about. Just having those fresh bursts of colors, making you feel healthy while you're eating. Plus it brightens up the dish. So So I'm going to stir my vegetables for about 5 minutes. I'm going to saute those veggies. There's garlic, minced, chopped garlic, about 3 cloves. Just go ahead and saute those with everything else. Now that aroma's kicking in. So I got that olive oil, that garlic, peppers, and onions. The kitchen is smelling something good right about now. Continuing to stir. Prepare our dish for our next set of ingredients. You see how they're getting soft, cooking up nicely. After cooking those for about 5 minutes, we are ready to add our first meat, our first protein, and that is the diced up chicken that we diced earlier in the video, about 1 pound of chicken. And we're going to go ahead and start to just saute that and blend it in with the veggie mixture. Okay, everything's been cooking a while, so now let's go ahead and add a little bit of salt and seasoning. Just a little salt is the first layer of seasoning that we're going to add so that I can start cooking into the dish. Little extra olive oil for good measure. Can't really go wrong. We're adding quite a bit of rice, so that'll help keep everything moist and flavorful. I continued to stir and mix the chicken till it was probably about half the way done. Not completely, because then we're going to be adding in our sausage. There's that good old sausage. I just used a smoked beef sausage. I prefer beef in my dishes. You can also use an andouille sausage, but I just used a beef pork sausage link. Cut that whole thing up and added it to our dish. So now we have all those wonderful flavors just mixing and meshing in the pot. Like I always like to say, they're becoming family. That the sausage, the chicken, the peppers, the onions. Yeah, this is looking all right. So keep on stirring. Probably an extra 5 minutes with everything. We're almost there. It's time to add our can of diced tomatoes. I prefer petite diced tomatoes because I just don't like the big chunks of tomatoes that a regular diced can of tomatoes has. So I always go for the petite diced tomatoes. If you like big chunks of tomato, you can just get a regular can of diced tomatoes. Either way, make sure you have a can of diced tomatoes in your dish. And we're adding in the rice. It's another main attraction of the dish. And here I go adding some more olive oil. It won't hurt. That was about 1 tablespoon. Stirring in the rice. Now we have all the flavors. Everything that's going in this dish is now in the pan. One thing that's great about this dish is it's a 1-pan dish. Adding in our Cajun seasonings. We have a salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and a little bit of crushed red peppers or cayenne peppers, and just an extra burst of Cajun seasoning. That's what's going to add the flavor and the little bit of heat, the little bit of kick, but give you that Cajun feel. Jambalaya is a dish, I believe, out of Louisiana. It's one of those good dishes. Jambalaya. I made gumbo at the beginning of the year. And I think another one of their specialties is etouffee, but I've never had that. Today we're doing Rashida's version of jambalaya. And there goes our chicken broth. You can use chicken broth, beef broth, vegetable broth, whatever you have on hand. Beef, I think, will be a little strong, so I prefer either chicken, vegetable, or seafood broth. Mixing it all in. Actually, that chicken broth is the last ingredient of the dish. And so now we're going to bring it up to a boil. Turn it down. Look at all those flavors. Look at all those. Look at that yummy goodness. Then, of course, I added a little extra seasoning for good measure, because you don't want it to fall flat on flavor. Everything's in there. The melting pot, tomatoes, onions, garlic, pepper, chicken. Oh, we're just missing one thing. I said the last ingredient was in there, but it's not. It will be making its way toward the end. We're bringing our dish down, simmer, cover it up, and now look how it's cooking. You see the rice is thickening up. It's not quite there yet. Took the top off to do a check, but it's looking good. It's coming together. Still a little bit too loose, a little bit too juicy. That's not the consistency that we're going for. We want our rice to fully cook so that it's tender to taste. So this was just like a check. See how we're coming in the stir. Make sure nothing's sticking. And the lid's going back on. Probably for about another 10 minutes. That's about 10 minutes left. All right, after 10 minutes, we're looking better. We're looking pretty good over there. I like it. Going ahead and giving that a thumbs up. The kitchen is smelling wonderful. Hey, look at the star of the show. The shrimp. If you don't like seafood, if you don't like shrimp, just leave it out. No problem. You can stop at the chicken and sausage. And really, you can add any kind of meat that you want to. This is a dish that you can make your own. But for me, I love that shrimp flavor addition. I love shrimp. It doesn't take a long time to cook them. So once we're at the end, we just add in our shrimp. Stir it real good. Make sure it gets under all the other ingredients, because they will continue to cook in all that heat. And we're going to put the top on one more good time, but at this point, my stove is turned off. I'm leaving the top on for about 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm letting those shrimp cook. One thing about shrimp, you don't want to overcook them. Took the lid off. You see that pink color in the shrimp? Bam! That means it's done. Our dish is complete. We have an awesome pot of jambalaya. Ah, so good, so tasty, so wonderful, so flavorful. There it is. Our take on the Louisiana dish called jambalaya. Thanks for coming in the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me today. I hope you try the dish out and let me know how it turns out. I'll tell you, I gave it 2 thumbs up. It was good. The whole family enjoyed it. There you have it, jambalaya, on today's episode of Let's Get Cooking with Rashida. You all have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time in the kitchen.